Our top stories this hour. The COVID-19 pandemic could come to an end in 2022. According to the WHO chief, global vaccination will help to achieve this target. What measures have countries taken to immunize the population in the face of the rapidly spreading Omicron variant? Find out in a few moments. Bytygai attracts the attention of archaeologists from all over the world. Kazakh scientists made an outstanding discovery. They uncovered the secret of an ancient jug found in a medieval settlement. Nur-Sultan is in anticipation of 2022. New Year lights have illuminated the Kazakh capital. How did the glitters and new locations transform the city? Stay tuned. Over $500 million of investments from China were attracted to the economy of Kazakhstan in the first half of 2021. This is by 64% more compared to the same period last year. According to the Kazakh Foreign Ministry, China today is Kazakhstan's one of the key trade and economic partners and is among the top 5 countries investing in the domestic economy. The states are jointly implementing 52 projects worth over $21 billion, 18 of which have already been commissioned for a total of $4.3 billion. These are projects in the field of mechanical engineering, oil refining, chemical, food industry, agro-industrial complex, infrastructure, construction and logistics. In general, over the past 15 years, China has invested about $20 billion in the economy of Kazakhstan.
Товарооборот у нас с Китайской Народной Республикой растет. В 2020 году, несмотря на пандемию, был рост в 2021 году.
Trade turnover with China is growing. In 2020, there was an increase despite the pandemic. In 2021, we also see positive dynamics following the results of 10 months. In terms of the trade surplus, our exports prevail. That's we export more than we import. So we have a positive trade balance with China. We mainly export oil, ferroalloys, copper, berries or concentrates, natural gas and so on. Trade turnover grew by 12.5% compared to the same period last year.
Динамику рост товарооборота идет по сравнению с прошлым, с аналогичным периодом прошлого года на 12,5%.
Kazakhstan provided additional humanitarian assistance to the Afghan people. A cargo with food and medicines with a weight of 155 tons, as well as warm clothes and drugs, was sent to Kabul. A Kazakh delegation visited Afghanistan, meeting with representatives of the current administration. Spokespersons from Kazakhstan expressed hope that the active phase of the conflict in the Islamic Republic is over and it is time to restore the country. Besides, the parties agreed to make a contribution to the further increase in trade volumes. Kazakhstan detected 342 fresh cases of the coronavirus infection in the past day. The high single-day case count was recorded in the capital. 65 people were infected in Nur-Sultan. Karaganda region came next with 51 COVID-19 cases. Akmola region took the third place with 48 registered patients. Since the beginning of the pandemic, the total number of coronavirus cases confirmed in the country has exceeded 986,000. According to the Kazakh Health Ministry, more than 17,500 people in Kazakhstan continue to receive treatment for COVID-19. About 3,000 out of them are in hospitals. To date, over 8,459,000 people have been fully vaccinated with 2 components in the country. Omicron has become the reason for cancelling more than 8,000 flights around the world. For the third day in a row, airlines have been announcing the spread of a new COVID-19 strain among crew members and ground service personnel. On Sunday alone, it was reported that more than 2,000 planes could not take off. The most affected passengers were in the US and China. However, overseas, the Christmas period is one of the busiest times for transport, with tens of millions of Americans having planned vacations long before the emergence of a new coronavirus strain. According to air carriers, the disruptions in the schedule will continue this week. Daily coronavirus cases in France hit a new record of over 100,000. According to local doctors, the burden on hospitals has increased significantly. However, the authorities feared that by the end of December, the Omicron would become the dominant variant of COVID-19.
entraîne autant de
The
formes
situation may
sévères.
worsen if the condition of patients infected with the Omicron variant of coronavirus worsens. We already have a shortage of beds. A more severe course of the disease is making the situation even more complicated. In the meantime, the Iranian authorities have closed the country's land borders with neighbors. The restrictions affected those arriving from Afghanistan, Armenia, Iraq and Pakistan. Only persons with a residence permit, as well as holders of work and medical visas, are eligible to enter the country. The new rules will be in effect for at least 2 weeks. The German authorities have decided not to interrupt the vaccination campaign even for a moment. Vaccination centers and mobile teams continue to operate as usual during the Christmas holidays, when shopping malls and clinics were closed across the country. Moreover, it was possible to get vaccinated in museums, hotels, train stations and even in the building of the famous Cologne Cathedral. There was even a long queue at this historic site. At present, the number of fully vaccinated citizens in Germany has exceeded 70%. However, the government aims to immunize 80% of the population due to the Omicron surge.
Auf alle Fälle, finde ich sehr, sehr gut.
I think this campaign is very important, especially for those who work all week and are only free on holidays. Personally, I have already been boosted. I decided to do it right away because I want to protect not just myself, but my family. My parents are already in their 70s and I care about their health. And because we are all vaccinated, we can celebrate Christmas together. If the government announces the need for a 4th dose of the vaccine in the spring, I would gladly agree. Scientists from Kazakhstan revealed the mystery of a jar found in the medieval city of Bytygai in Akmola region. The ancient relic was not just preserved in its original form. There was a thick brown liquid that looks like butter inside the bowl. The jar was more than half full. According to scientists, this is the first such find on Eurasia's territory. It allowed making outstanding discoveries.
В данном сосуде сохранилась жидкость, непотревоженная, она, получается, находилась в земле около 700 лет.
This vessel still has the liquid. It has been in the ground for about 700 years. After the excavations were completed, this substance is sent to the Institute of Geological Sciences. We have recently received results of this research. They were stunning. The composition of the liquid turned out to be bitumen.
Оказались тоже уникальными. Этот состав жидкости оказался битумом.
Experts said that natural bitumen was used for production purposes. The height of the pitcher is 40 centimeters, the width is 25, and the capacity is 6 liters. Archaeologists discovered the amphora during a study of the ancient workshop of a unique settlement, typical of medieval urban culture.
Сол заманда 500 жыл бұрын осы жердің жергілікті зергерлер.
At that time, over 700 years ago, local jewelers and artisans used bitumen in the petrochemical industry in their enterprises. The question is, how did they find bitumen? Did they find down the mines? If so, then how? All these artifacts testify to the development of technology in ancient times.
Барлығы сол заманда технологиялардың дамығанын көрсетеді.
During the excavations at the workshop, researchers found 3 large mills for a stone crusher, brick kilns, a tray for preparing building paint, and parts of bricks covered with glaze.
Отандық ғалымдар орта ғасырларда ұлы далада құрылыстың қарқынды.
Domestic scientists have proved the rapid development of construction in the great step in the Middle Ages. The bricks found on the outskirts of the capital in Sararka were made in the 13th-14th centuries. Several types of them are developed according to a unified standard. Such decorative bricks were used for finishing the facade of the facility. Glaze was used in the construction. Its color is still preserved. This means that the quality was perfect.
Сондықтан сапасы мінсіз.
This valuable exhibits tell about 3 important periods of the Middle Ages: the Golden Horde, the Jochi Khanate, and the Kazakh Khanate.
Bytygai қалашығының аумағы 35 гектарды алып жатыр.
Bytygai city occupies a territory of about 35 hectares. There are various buildings. We dug only a smaller part of it. Major archaeological research will continue here next year. We look forward to new discoveries in the history of these lands. Upon completion of all archaeological excavations, Bytygai city will revive after 7 centuries underground. There will be a major reconstruction. The historical site will become a place of attraction for tourists who will undoubtedly want to visit the open-air museum. A craftsperson from the Turkestan region revives the art of wood carving. Abdemanat Mirzabay can cut off everything and turn an ordinary log into a work of art. The master takes elm, hazel and pine and skillfully carves out not only patterns but also dishes and musical instruments. It usually takes him 1 week to make one piece, but there are also items that sometimes take years to make. Mirzabay started doing this over 30 years ago. He is already struggling to count all of his works, and it is not what really matters. The most important thing now is to pass on unique techniques to the younger generation. We have creative freedom here. Everybody can use any tree and make a beautiful shape out of it, but you need to know how to work with it. Every tree needs a different approach. We not only cut it out, but also process and dry it.
күніге аударып отырамыз. Сөйтіп кеп тұру әдісіменен. Ағайым әбдіманап болған соң, қолынан шебер танып тұрған соң.
My teacher is a master of his craft. I always consult with him. We are able to make such a beautiful piece out of ordinary logs. He teaches us to be neat. We also participate in various competitions where we present our works.
Кейін көрмелерге қойып, жүлде орындыра аламыз деген ойдамын.
The Kazakh capital becomes bright with festive decorations and is looking all magical. There are New Year trees, garlands and other attributes of the festive season. Now, walking in the parks of Nur-Sultan, residents can not only glide down the ice slides, but also take pictures with the figures of Santa Claus and Snow Maiden. All the entertainment sites can be visited of the city just walking, local urbanists say, meaning that they made sure that each district of Nur-Sultan has its own winter wonderland attractions for locals.
В Саракинском районе здесь оформили городскую площадь. Также, как вы знаете, летом мы открыли летнюю пешеходную улицу по выходным, где молодец променад.
The city square in the Sararka region has already been decorated. We will do something on the Demolis promenade this winter too. There will be a skating rink right on the street. We will also set up a light installation in the form of a labyrinth, a New Year tree in the carriage. There is a nice town on the central promenade.
Пространство. Кроме этого, центральная набережная, там очень много мы создали горок. И так в каждом районе.
There are also festive entertainment programs for the little residents of the capital as well. A thematic winter project Zootopia is opening in the Almaty district. Famous cartoon characters will come to life as small installations. Ice slides are another fun attribute of a winter holiday, and luckily every park in Nur-Sultan has them.
В Висельском районе в этом году мы совместно с бизнесом построили такие очень интересные.
Unique slides were built in the Yesil district in cooperation with the Russian Slides business. They are located near the Korean City Shopping Mall and the Duman Entertainment Center. In addition, wooden slides are being built near the Korean Shopping Center, where residents will be able to spend their active winter holidays. It's already open.
Где жители района смогут провести активно зимний отдых.
And there is much more than that. Good news awaits residents who love ice skating. In addition to slides, a new ice rink will appear in the Central Park. It's going to be located between the trees, which will be illuminated. The atmosphere is just magical. In addition, a unique ice slide was built there, where people can glide down between the garlands. These new entertainment events were made possible thanks to sponsors who funded most of the projects.